So my name is Jonah Merchant. I'm one of the co-owners of Neck of the Woods. We're an independent music venue here on Happy Road in Auckland, and we've been operating for about 7 years now. So COVID for us was a pretty major impact actually. So we being an indoor music venue, basement with limited ventilation, and a lot of people jammed into a crowded space. It's quite high risk for COVID transmission. So we were in the indoor events sector was one of the first ones to kind of be shut down by the government restrictions when we first had the COVID outbreak, and we've been one of the last ones to reopen as the pandemic's kind of moved on. So being closed for such a long period of time has meant that we've had to have a look at other ways to see how we could bring revenue into the business while we're not able to operate in our normal way. So we did a lot of experimenting around things like, could we have alternative types of events where they may not be in-person events, but we could be streaming our stuff online, stream live performances, try different ways of getting content out to people. We did a sort of a streamathon partway through the first lockdown, which was really successful. We had a lot of artists playing and streamed all that content online, and people were able to kind of jump in and view and donate. A lot of what we're trying to do now is about diversifying how we have operated the business. So we've been very dependent, obviously, historically on in-person events. We'd like to do more diverse stuff where we do a mix of in-person events as the pandemic kind of starts to recede a little bit, but we're also looking at other ways to be a bit more resilient and better able to navigate any kind of future COVID resurgences if we get a new variant coming through or anything else like that. So a lot of sort of multifaceted events now. So we're thinking about in-person events, but they'd be combined with an online component. We want to do a lot of online and digital content creation, and so we can kind of stream and monetize that content in addition to the actual in-person events. The sort of things we're doing there are things like we have a night now that we're running which is called Electric Panther. That's an in-person party with DJs performing, but then we also are filming a lot of content around that which we then release on YouTube afterwards, and we're looking to kind of build that up as a digital repository, and looking to do a lot around partnering with other content providers. We did the first Boiler Room event in New Zealand last year as well, which was really successful. Boiler Room's a really big brand, global brand, but out of the UK. And so this was their first New Zealand event, and we did all that multimedia production for them here in New Zealand, as well as being the venue. So just looking to diversify really, and just be a little bit more creative about how we bring in multiple revenue streams as we go forward.
Finnick, and I've been doing music since I was about 18. I started off playing in bands, and got a job working at a music venue called Whammy Bar, and I studied to be a sound engineer and became a sound engineer at the Whammy Back Room. It's been a huge impact on finding and playing shows. This last summer I had about 4 shows around New Zealand that were booked in, and then they got cancelled because of COVID, and now I think things are slowly starting to come back, but it's everybody's very tentative about what they're doing, and I think it's going to take a long time before people are really confidently booking shows again. I think it's definitely made me think about the online audience a lot more than performing my music. So maybe I've been writing music that's a little bit more for people who are listening on their headphones at home, or listening to things while they're out and about, but maybe less thinking about how I'm going to translate my music into a live sense, and more about the connection with someone listening to it on their own. The record label that my music project is on, and I have a track featured on the last track on side B.
And I think that's a big takeaway from COVID, is that we shouldn't take that stuff for granted, and that we should try and look after it, come out to gigs where you can, kind of support your artists, support your venues, and support the local scene.
Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.